In this video, we'll learn how to use the cosine rule to find missing angles of triangles. Unlike normal trigonometry, which only works for right-angled triangles, the cosine rule applies to all of them, which is given as a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos a. Now when the cosine rule is in this form, we use it to find missing sides. Links to our Finding Missing Sides video are in the description or top right corner now. But to find missing angles, which is what we'll be covering in this video, we use the rearranged cosine rule. So let's see it. Okay, so the rearranged cosine rule is cos A equals b squared plus c squared minus a squared all over 2bc. And we can use this formula to find any angle if we know all three sides. But before moving on to an example, let's just see how to get the rearranged cosine rule. You could try and remember both formulas, but I'd recommend learning the first one and then understanding how to get the cos A formula in case you have a brain freeze in the exam and can't remember it. Okay, so let's go. So if we start with the cosine rule and rearrange it to make cos A the subject on the left-hand side, the first step is to add 2bc cos A to both sides. The red arrows just show that we do the same thing to both sides. So we have on the left a squared plus 2bc cos A is equal to b squared plus c squared. Next, subtract a squared from both sides to get 2bc cos A on the left equal to b squared plus c squared minus a squared on the right. Finally, divide through by 2bc to get a final answer of cos A equals b squared plus c squared minus a squared all over 2bc. And that's it. This is our rearranged cosine rule that we can use to find missing angles. Okay, so now let's see how to use the rearranged cosine rule to find missing angles. An important point before we show you an example: to use the rearranged cosine rule, we need to know all three sides. And the angle we use this formula to find is always opposite the side labelled A. Okay, so here is an example. This triangle has three sides of length 11.8 centimetres, 8.3 centimetres and 10 centimetres. Find the size of the missing angle X. Give your answer to one decimal place. Okay, so here is the answer. Label the sides of the triangle and substitute into the formula. Now side A has to be the side which is 11.8 centimetres, and that's because it's opposite the angle that we're looking for. Now it doesn't matter which side you call B and C. Okay, so write down the formula to help remember it and substitute the three sides to get cos of x, which is the angle we're looking for, is equal to 8.3 squared, which is b squared, plus 10 squared, which is c squared, minus 11.8 squared, which is our a squared, all over 2bc, which is 2 times 8.3 times 10. And this right-hand side can be entered directly into a calculator by pressing the fraction button to get 593 over 3,320. This is our cos x. Finally, to find the missing angle x, you need to use the cos to the minus 1 function, which is the inverse of cos. So calculate angle x equals cos to the minus 1 of 593 over 3,320 by pressing shift and then cos and then the answer key to get an angle of 79.7 degrees, correct to one decimal place. Okay, now it is your turn. Here is another example. Find the size of the missing angle x. Give your answer to two decimal places. Follow the method from the last question shown here on the right hand side. Pause the video now and have a go. Okay, so here is the answer. First label the sides and angle of the triangle, then substitute into the cosine rule. Once again, the side A must be the 7 centimetre side, which is opposite the angle. And so we have cos of x is equal to 11.5 squared plus 7.5 squared minus 7 squared all over 2 times 11.5 times 7.5. which when entered into a calculator gets us 93 over 115. So finally, to find the missing angle x, we do x equals cos to the minus 1 of 93 over 115 to get an angle of 36.03 degrees, correct to 2 decimal places. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you got the example correct. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any suggestions for future videos. Subscribe so you get notified when the next video is out, and feel free to share with your friends if you think it would be helpful.